Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils. Thank you for joining us for our Inspiration Day. If you're new to the group, then obviously this is simply Sweet Poppy Stencils Inspiration Day, and we try and hold this once a month. If you go to the feature tab, then there is lots and lots of inspiration, step-by-steps for you to catch up on. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then obviously go across to the Facebook page, which is simply Sweet Poppy Stencils, and you can catch up on fabulous inspiration, tutorials, step-by-steps, and it's great fun on the page. So for this one, we're focusing on our new Christmas 2025 release. This is a beautiful, beautiful stencil created for us by Illyri Huxtable, and this is the Holly Flourish. So I will link all the products for you that I've used, all the main products. But this is the Holly Flourish banner, and I've used Stencil Dimensions Translucent, and I've changed the colour. So a nice simple technique, but showing you how you can change it and adapt your colours and keep it really elegant. And this is perfect for batch making. So to start off with, so the main focus of the show is obviously the Holly Flourish banner, and this is SP1 398, just been released. What else are we going to need? We're going to need our translucent stencil dimension, and I've got mica powder and I've got evergreen. So you can change your colour with mica powders, brushes, pigments. 1 drop of food dye would work, and this is all to 1 teaspoon of the medium. Even things like acrylic paints, 3 drops of acrylic paint to the translucent. Try not to add too much moisture, so hence this is why I tend to stick with the mica powders. You'll need a little pot to store it in, so they're all good to one side, and then we need our trusty stencil tape, our spreader, and I've got a palette knife, but you could use a teaspoon. That's just to mix and stir it with. So pop that. Versifying Clay is for my sentiment in the middle, and the sentiments that we're going to be using is from Eat, Drink and Be Merry. It's the little Christmas sentiment. It fits perfect in the banner, so we're going to use that one. Magnetic sheet, and I think we're more or less pretty much good to go. If you wanted to add a sparkle, because you're not changing the formula of the medium, you're just adding a colour, then you could still glitter it up if you wish to. I've added, for my berries, I've just popped tiny, don't know if you can see them, liquid pearl little drops. I'm not too much of a gem girl, and sometimes it can become a pizza topping. So I've used the liquid pearls, and I'll show you a couple of ways you can play with that. So I think we're good to go. So let's start off. We've got our card, and our card topper, I believe, is, oops, I'm going to go in centimetres for our card topper. It's about 15.5 by 11.5, and then we've got a matten layer green, which just seemed to work perfectly, and that's about, I believe that's about centimetre bigger, is it? 16.5 by 12, I think that is. Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger. As you can see, I've already got one prepped to just show you for the matten layering. A 5 by 7 landscape base. This is Anne-Marie Designs Mont Blanc, beautiful, beautiful bases. They are gorgeous. So we're good to go. So we've got our card topper, and I'm just gonna pop it on make sure we're in shot, and I'm going to pop it on and just centralize it where I want it on the topper. I'm quite happy with that. So this will go to one side, and then we can carry on once I've done it. So screening off 1 and 2, and again 1 and 2. Now I would say either a glass mat, don't mix on your silica mats. Some pigments can stain, so just be careful. I tend to use a little bit of a heat sheet or a glass mat if I can. I'm just screening that all the way off, and I'm going to just lift that up, pop that to one side for the moment. Because I don't want to muck my sheet up, I have my little bit of heat sheet. There we go. I'm just going to secure that down, because otherwise it's going to roll. It's got a life of its own because it's just permanently rolled up. There we go. That way I'm not going to get any muck on there. So you're going to take about 1/4 heaped teaspoon. If you're mixing more, then about 1/2 teaspoon. So I think about 1/4 heaped teaspoon of your mica powder. As I said, this is evergreen. Now you can change the colours of whites and translucents. You just have to remember that if you mix a red pigment with a white, you're always going to get pink. If you mix it with translucent, although it starts off pink, it will become clear, the medium, so it will become red. Okay, so we're just mixing it up. So we're all nice and cleaned up, so mat all lovely and clean. I will use hand sanitizer, that gets rid of loads of muck off my mat. So we previously had screened off our stencil. So our tape is all stick down, fabulous. We've got our spreader, and then we've got our medium that's all lovely and clean in our pot. So we're going to just good old dollop, 1 and 2 and 3. So this is why we no longer do great big pots of different colours, because with micas and pigments you can change it up yourself by just using one pot of big pot of translucent or white, and being able to change your own colour. So we're at a 45-degree angle. We've loaded up on top of the tape, and we're gently pulling it across and up. So flick it up, that goes back in to be reused, not hurt it, and again, and then that comes off because we want to save all our scraps for our next ones, and then that can go in. And that goes into water to be cleaned, and I'm just going to take either a wet cloth or a baby wipe, and I'm just going to clean around the top of my pot, and then lid on. And then that is good to be saved, as I said, for a good 3, maybe 4 months. If you find it thickening up, just add a little bit more translucent to it, and that will loosen it down for you. So you're just taking off your tapes. Take off your tapes, hinge up, straight off, and there's your beautiful body. So straight into water, and last tape off. Pop that to one side, and there is your beautiful image. This actually will dry a little bit quicker than if you hadn't mixed something. We find it does sort of almost hurry it up a little bit. If you wanted to add sparkle, then all you would do is, you must do it whilst it's wet. So you would just take a little bit and then just add your sparkle. That's if you wanted to. I'm a non-sparkle girl, but it always helps to see different effects. So lid on, pop that to one side, and then tap that off over a bin, and then that will give me a beautiful little iridescent sparkle. So what's going to happen is the medium is going to go clear, the mica, the true colour of the mica is going to come through. So it is going to dry that colour, beautiful evergreen. It's a beautiful, beautiful mica powder. So we're just going to mount this up now. I'm just going to use a roller glue, and just for quickness, pick him up. So I won't put any of my finishes on, and to be quite honest, I'll probably always stamp my sentiment if I'm going to put a sentiment on. As you know, I don't do lots of sentiments unless it's really needed, because I never know who or where it's going to go. Lovely, so that's good. And I'm going to pop a sentiment on now. So we're just taking my stamp press, and I'm going to do it this way, solely because of the camera shot. So move him up, out the way, and I always put a little bit of tape down, because you can never guarantee it's not going to shift. So check he's in shot, lovely. So we're going to use the Christmas. Now, if you're not sure, just use the relief and just line it up and go, yeah, that looks good, or that doesn't look good. And it allows you then to work out if it's good or not. So I'm just going to line my sentiment up, and I'm roughly aiming for its central. So I'm going to just pick that up. I'm going to pick that up, and I want it maybe a little bit higher. So again, I'm going to take that off. There we go. I'm just trying not to get my R of my Christmas over my holly here. That looks straight. We'll go with that. So tap it down. Lovely. So Nocturne, I'm using black. You can use whatever colour you want. So gentle taps. Oops. There we go. Try not to take off as much as I'm putting on. So I'm just going to press that down, let that just do its magic, seep into the card. Perfect. Do I need to go again? Yeah, I do. Well, let's just see if I've got any more ink left on my... Yeah, I'm going to go in again, just over that part. There we go. That's better. Up, up and off. Pop that to one side. I'll sort that out after. Okay, so you've got your body. Okay, so what is the easiest way of trying to work out what to put on? Pop a little sheet over, and if you then put your gems on, you can just see if it works out. What I've done is I've used liquid pearls, and I've just lined it up and gone, that actually looks really lovely, not too fussy, that'll work for me. So you're going to take your liquid pearls. Now, I'm just using ruby red. These are old ones that I noticed that they do change their liquid pearls quite after a while. You know, they discontinue some, bring some others in, or you can't get hold of them. It's just a sort of, it's not even a dark red, to be quite honest. So I popped a little bit on there. First off, before I actually do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it, otherwise I won't be able to mount my card. So I'm just going to pop that onto my base, otherwise I won't be able to mount it and I won't be able to show you. So my base, my 5x7 base, I'm going to just line him up. Lovely, perfect. There we go. Now I can, now I can show you. Okay, so we've got him lined up. I've got a little bit of plastic on him for some reason. There we go. So taking small end of my pokey tool, move that out the way, and all I'm doing is just gently dotting. I just found that my gems were too big and made it look quite clumpy, and I wanted to keep the delicateness of this design that Illyria's created for us. So again, the last one. If you haven't got liquid pearls or stickles, then paint. Do a little bit of paint, and you're just taking a little bit, and you're just gonna, with a pokey tool or a tiny embossing tool, it'll work for you. And there you go. There is your creation. So a beautiful, but very simple, but perfect for batch making. So you could paste all your beautiful images, create a medium, paste all your beautiful images, and then mount them, and you're sorted, you're good to go then. I hope you enjoyed the inspiration. Don't forget to tune in for more inspiration with Sweet Poppy Stencils. Thank you.